Oh yeah, this video contains a lot of spoilers. I knew that he was going to be in space. I didn't even know there was going to be an alien. I went to it like knowing nothing and having just blind faith in Ryan Gosling. What do I call you on my channel? Do you want a nickname?
This is a big decision.
I know, it really is. In your defense, we can always change the name.
Rocky.
Okay, and why do we call you Rocky?
Hi guys, welcome back to our channel. An Ops channel.
I'm kidding, guys. It's all of our channels here. We just watched Project Hail Mary, and I didn't watch it for the first time. Did you?
No.
So far I've watched it twice.
I've watched it 3.5 times.
And a half?
Yeah, because I watched it.
Should we keep that part?
But I take that back. It was 3 times. 3 times. I watched it 3 times.
Okay, we believe you.
Yeah. How many times did you watch it?
I've watched it twice. Listen, at the end of the day, what matters? And here's the thing, why watch Project Hail Mary once when you can watch it multiple times? That's what I say.
I agree. I have to confess that I fell asleep a little bit just because, listen, I slept at like 3 a.m. knowing that I have a movie at 10 a.m. And then at some point I was just so sleepy and I had watched the movie so many times that it was playing in my head while I was asleep. And I knew exactly when to wake up. And it was when Eva Strat was singing Sign of the Times. And then I immediately started crying again.
Oh my God. No, you woke up and started crying. Watch the movie. And then you pass out and you wake up, tears.
That scene has a string to my heart and it tugged it.
Hey guys, I wore contacts today because I was like, I don't want anything between me and the screen. Like Rocky says. Time. I don't know why I said that. Anyways, moving on.
Is this movie your Adrian?
Dude, this movie might actually be my Adrian. The last movie I felt this way was Ryan Gosling's other movie, The Fall Guy. Mm-hmm. Which I also went into blind. Okay, I didn't watch any trailer. I saw Ryan Gosling on the poster and I said, yeah, let's go. Which really makes you think.
This is the most attracted I felt to Ryan Gosling. Maybe because he was a nerd.
I think it was because he was a nerd. Why would you put that on screen?
The blue periodic table.
That is exactly.
Sure. I think I watched this a bit.
In fact, why don't we ask Rocky here? When the first and the second time before this third time was that you... Here's the thing. The movie came out a month ago. So you're like, okay, 3 times in a month, span it out, not bad. It's like watching the movie like every week, every other week. When was the first time you watched it?
Last Monday.
And when was the second time you watched it?
Last Saturday.
Today is Saturday. Are you sure this movie is not your Adrian?
Ask me when the next time I plan to watch it is. I have something scheduled already.
I'm genuinely scared to ask. When is the next time you plan to watch this movie?
Monday.
Also, I have to say the first time that I watched it, I didn't actually know what they were saying at the end when Ryan Gosling spoke, what is it, Iridian?
Rocky was speaking English, just to clarify.
Yes, Ryan was speaking English, but The Rock, I didn't know what Rocky was saying. I just did guesswork. Oh, I'm closing it, so I figured Rocky told him to close it.
Did you tear up?
Yes, you saw me wiping my tears with this hijab actually. I thought of bringing a tissue because I knew I was gonna cry, and then I forgot, so I used my hijab. Which, by the way, works pretty well because it just absorbs.
Yeah, the whole time you just had your hijab like up to your eye. I was gonna say something, but I've forgotten what I was gonna say.
He reminds you about a couple things that happened in.
You're gonna remind me about the movie I watched 3 times?
Yes, 3 times, mind you. Carl. I really liked Carl.
This is not what I remembered.
Okay, but there's more.
Yeah. On the whiteboard, if you'll notice, Carl Foggy. You know why? Because Carl was the last person he saw when he passed out. So it was just a foggy vision. You know who you are.
And if you notice in the movie, in the whiteboard, the entire time, Grace is trying to figure out who he is, and he's, it's always, who am I, trying to figure out his life. But he erases it all, trying to figure out how to get back to Rocky.
Another thing I noticed in this watch of mine, when he's going through the things, like when he wakes up, there are things in Yao and Yukta or something. I forgot how to say her name.
At first I thought her name was also Ava. Okay, but hey, I watched the movie twice, so I know it's not Ava.
I don't know how to pronounce her name.
You watched the movie 3 times, you should know by now.
I don't know.
On Monday, guys.
Yeah, he sees like piles of pictures and letters from them, and then when he goes to his stuff, it's just one picture of him alone.
Actually, and I'm sure there's answers for this somewhere. because he also has like the posters and stuff the kids made, right? I wonder if those are his students,
That's what
or they're like
General.
just from everybody finding out that they're going to space
Because like when the decision is made by Eva, she kind of says they'll remember you as a hero.
Here's the thing, in the book, he was always supposed to go because do you not know this? Okay.
I'm reading the book right now.
Oh, should I not tell you?
No, don't tell me.
You just cut out at least 6 minutes of content.
What if they
Okay.
don't want to know?
Then why are you in a video that's literally titled Project Hail Mary?
But like the book content, it was 6 minutes.
Oh. I don't know how many minutes I talk for. Also, fun fact about, when Ryan Gosling calls up Ava Stratt and he's like, Carl and I made a baby. That was actually on Ava Stratt's actress's Sandra. That was on her day off. And that was her genuine reaction when she said, what? See, the thing is, I really love when movies do that stuff. Where it's like they put their real stuff in it. Like Commander Yao and the engineer. The female engineer who is so cool and very pretty. Whose name, you know what? I'll just add it. Like, yeah, those were their real pictures, like from their, like real lives, and it was them and their loved ones. And I really like when movies put that in. And also, Ryan Gosling's classroom. It's mostly the film crew's kids.
Oh, that's so cute.
I know. And it's like, that's so easy to do, like that's so easy to just implement a little bit of like personal feelings into art forms and stuff. And I feel like more people should do that. I feel like more directors should do that.
Which I feel like is what makes a memorable art form, just the personalization of it as compared to a commercialized one.
Yeah.
Where it's just kind of what'll sell.
Also, like, sure, this is the actors' jobs at the end of the day and stuff, but like, what's the harm in a little whimsy? Yes. So that didn't remind you of anything either? The kids at the end of the movie.
The dolphin?
Which, I'm not gonna lie to you, I expected there to be more dolphin as soon as Ryan Gosling was like, echolocation.
I just have to say, a lot of those kids are probably older than
oh, yeah.
Grace.
Yeah. Which really makes you think. Like, how old? I'm sure you'll find out soon when you read the book. Let me know.
No. Science stuff.
Yeah,
Relativity.
Look at my shirt, guys. It's science.
The whole thing of like, for Grace, only 4 years has passed by the time he gets to Tau Ceti. Meanwhile, on Earth, it's been like 12 years or so.
Yeah, relativity.
Yeah, and it's just, he only aged 4 years, whereas Eva's down there like aged
gray hair and everything. By the way, half of the population did die by then, by the times that the probes came back.
It's gonna be like, I think 20 years by the time
It's been 24 at least, because it takes you 12 light years to go there and then to come back. So that's 24 years. And they said that the Earth was gonna get colder by the next 30 years.
That's why the scene where they show Eva.
Yeah, it was all frozen.
I do wonder, like, because they had prepared for it to be a suicide mission. Also, obviously, watching this video, there's spoilers in this whole video.
Oh yeah. This video contains a lot of spoilers.
Alright, guys,
Watch the movie. You don't have to watch the movie 2 or 3 times like us, but you do need to at least watch it 1 time if you want to put spoilers.
What was I saying?
By the way, this movie.
No, before that. Because it was meant to be a suicide mission, right? So I do wonder if Grace had decided to go back, would they have had like a plan of like, hey, there's this ship that's coming right at us. Also, does the ship have a landing?
I don't think so.
Anything in it? Because that's a whole thing to plan as well.
Yeah.
Or were they just planning, okay, Grace is just gonna
Die. Like literally.
Yeah, but Grace just rams into the Earth's atmosphere.
Okay, so here's my question when I was watching the first time as well, right? The entire time I was just thinking, so Grace is going to space, right? And he's gonna go try to find whatever it is in Tau Ceti, but like, what powers his rocket ship is astrophage, and they're saying, okay, astrophage isn't. We don't have enough for it to come back. Why doesn't he just grab a couple while he's in space? I'm sure there's a reason, and the book probably talks about it, and maybe something about kilogram this, kilogram that. But like, if you waited like maybe 3 more days, made a couple of more astrophage just for it to stay in orbit for a couple of more days, so Grace can gather more astrophage, then he could have just perhaps made it back. I don't know, because I didn't read the book.
Again, this was a Hail Mary.
This was a Hail Mary, and they were ready for it to fail, which it probably would have had it not been for Rocky. Not you.
Not me.
The alien.
The actual
The
one.
alien.
Yeah. I have to say that I do love the fact that Grace didn't have a choice. Like in the movie, that Grace was forced into
What a
it.
horrible thing to say to Ryan Gosling.
Just because it's like sometimes you don't have the option but to be brave. Like you're just kind of forced into it by
Exactly,
circumstances, which is horrible, but it is painfully real.
And no, what I really like, he was just a normal dude who had literally, like, he was just a molecular biologist who happened to be a science teacher who happened to say some wrong things at the wrong time, and then get thrown into space. And I really like that he's just a regular guy. And like, for example, Harry Potter, he's always the chosen one. And there's so many stories, so many movies, so many books, and everybody's always the chosen one, right? And I'm really glad that Ryan Gosling, Ryland Grace, was literally just a regular dude who was playing the beanbag is lava. Also a spoiler, please watch the movie.
I love that he's just a regular dude.
It's my favorite thing. Is it sad that he was literally the only person alive? Yes.
I mean, is it sad that Evestrat really looked at him and said, "You have no one that loves you"?
No, that was diabolical to me. Like, I have to say, when he was saying, "Oh, I can't go to space because, like, I don't want to die," and then she was all like, "Okay, well, you're gonna die in 15, 30 years anyway. That's fine." No, that's fine. And then he's like, "Yeah, I would rather die with you guys." And then she was like, "But you don't have anybody here to die." What?
Yeah, she was straight up. You don't have an immediate family. You don't even have a dog.
You don't even have a dog.
She's basically saying nobody's going to miss you.
But like at the same time, the reason, I mean, like, obviously, emotion this, emotion that. I understand why she took why she made the decisions. Absolutely, I understand. And
I do think she had to, like, the decision she made.
And I don't hold her to that at all.
Yeah. No, I think it makes sense. I mean, I think it built up to it well. Like, even when they were having a conversation of, like, is it hard for you to ask people to do this for you? I told you, even though I was asleep, I know that conversation. Is it hard for you to ask people to do this? And she's like, no, it's not. And she knows that this is something that you just have to do for the greater good of the world.
Exactly. And like, all of those things, I don't blame her for it. Like, at the end of the day, somebody has to make the hard decisions. So, but the thing is, like, at the same time, from Grace's POV, it's that he has students, though. He's a science teacher. And, like, his students care about him, man. I know, I care about my teachers.
I do wonder if the kids knew what happened to Grace.
Oh, that brown girl definitely did. Let me just tell you, so proud of her. Wasn't that her science teacher? And then she was like, what? And then, your science teacher, he got kicked off into space.
You have to think, like, one day, right, your science teacher is there explaining to you about the Petrova line, and then the next day he's gone, right? He's living on a ship, or like he's experimenting with little dots. He's living in a ship, and then next thing, he's in space.
Wait, now this makes me think, if the girl is gonna grow up and just be like, because mind you, when the girl is grown up, he's still in space, like, he hasn't sent anything back, right? So I wonder if she's gonna grow up and just be like, oh my god, he probably went missing because I pushed him to answer the question. That's crazy.
Why are you putting guilt in this girl?
No, I'm not putting guilt. I think at the end of the day, yeah, I hope she doesn't feel guilt.
See, I do appreciate the what is it called?
Oh god, do you really appreciate it? Y'all, I'm not even kidding, I knew it was coming. I teared up at the Petrova line scene. And also when Ryan Gosling, when the production team was shooting that thing, Ryan Gosling was in a bunch of chicken wire, right? So he couldn't see what was happening, but everybody else was like, they had goosebumps and they were like, this is so beautiful, and he was just there like. And I do really, like, this is what I think about all the time. I need a better word for this. Ever since I started thinking, most of the time, all of these movies take place in America, or these books are placed in America, and they're like, oh, this and that, and whatever, and it's so focused only on one country, not just America, even if it's like based in another country. And it's like, surely you're not the only person experimenting, and surely you're not the only person who knows this. So when Ava was like, oh yeah, I have like 300 other scientists in like 21 different, I'm like, this is so realistic.
He entered that room and there were like all these people,
all these people,
all these experts, and he's just there like, whoop.
There it is.
When he asked the question, and he was like, "Tell him we don't know."
I love the sequence of him going, "What is Project Tell Me?" Next meeting presentation. I love when they do things like that.
I love how fast they were like, he doesn't know, he doesn't have the clearance. Stand up.
We don't know thing. Why is that so rehearsed? I wonder if they had to show that presentation to like each of them, right? And then by the time they got like 100 scientists in, they were like, "Oh, you know what we should start doing whenever somebody asks us."
Imagine like every scientist they kept like recruiting they have to show the presentation, and every time they ask a question, it was like,
do you think they had a betting pool going on? Like, do you think they're gonna ask this question?
One day someone didn't ask, and they're like, "Oh." Someone still says it because they thought they were gonna ask.
No, the entire meeting like wraps up and everything, and they're like, aren't you curious? And they're like, "No, I think I have everything." And they're like, "We're just gonna go to this room, okay?"
Someone did say, "Do you think that they just had that presentation already, or did they make that up for Grace?" But I think they had it already.
No, they had
pretty
it.
well decided.
Like, they answered all of the questions one might ask. So they either had
a really bad one, fudgy one. I saw like this post that said, Grace in the good place, and he thinks that everyone is actually saying "what the fork."
He's a teacher, that's why he doesn't swear at all. So even when he's in space, he doesn't swear. Like,
I mean, even in some scenes with Rocky, he does like act like a teacher.
Yes.
Especially when he runs into
when he was like, "My hand is up." How is Rocky supposed to know? I mean, Rocky just turns to him like, "Yeah, it is." You know, I was so sad when they were parting ways. What do you mean goodbye? No, imagine you go to space on a suicide mission and you meet your best friend.
We didn't have to do that.
I'm actually really glad that he stayed in Arid. Like, first of all, that was so mean when Ava Strout was like, "You literally don't have anybody here." Ouch. But she's right. So him staying with his best friend makes sense.
I mean, in the last log that he sent, he's like, "I don't want you to say that you're right because you are."
Also, him avoiding Earth just so somebody doesn't tell him, just so he doesn't have to hear "I told you so." So real.
Because him thinking that he's a wasted potential and that some people don't. Are you crying? You look like you're tearing up. Actually,
I was tearing up. You don't understand how much this movie has to. I hope we get that poster wrote.
Oh my god.
From that duty manager, whoever it is. If y'all have an extra pin lying around, give it to us.
Please. We don't need the mummy poster.
We do not. Are you even gonna watch it? I might not even watch it now. I didn't even know it was out.
I didn't know there was a new The Mummy movie.
Like, didn't they already make The Mummy with Tom Cruise in it?
That was what I was thinking. I was like, there's a The Mummy.
What were we talking about? We were on a track.
I get very distracted during movies, so the fact that I've watched this movie 3 times says a lot, by the way.
It really does. I know you can't do it on Monday because you have to watch
Project Hail Mary. Duh.
Again.
I have to say that like watching it on IMAX is
Was
such
amazing.
an experience.
Are you watching it on IMAX on Monday?
Yeah. But I kept the first time with you.
This is why I didn't have to go to space and make a best friend there.
A rock.
I do have my Rocky. Does that make me Dr. Ryland Grace? Wow.
No.
I did study in STEM.
Come here.
I did?
No. You are Armando.
The dancing robot? Yeah, I'll take it.
How Eva Strout had to live with the fact that she sent Ryland Grace to space because he was all alone on Earth and had no one to love or miss him.
That's okay, it wasn't too hard for her. Banger movie, banger everything. Alright, like if I have to say, although I am somebody who enjoyed Interstellar a lot.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, good. I especially like this one a lot because, you know, like Interstellar was already good in itself, but this one also had like those little bits of like realisticness and humor and whatever, which made it so much.
I love the humor.
The humor is amazing.
I think the comedic timing is so on
Dude,
point.
what's his name? Kyle no running, and he's like, "I'm not the most."
I don't know why I keep noticing. I don't know if you can include this in the video.
I'll decide later.
Okay, but like most of the people who I hear laughing during Project Hail Mary are girls.
Guys sitting behind us laughed at the Kyle no running. I was like, "See, he gets it." And the other girl that was laughing at everything, dude, she got
I
it.
think I heard her sobbing. But I kept hearing someone like.
That might have been me.
No, it was someone else.
She was a real one. She did not hide any of her reactions.
I feel like most of the people who were in the cinema with us, it wasn't their first time.
Oh,
Based
I
on the
don't-
reactions of everyone, like nobody was shocked or like
Nobody was like
emotionally.
No, it was that one girl.
That one. girl who was, like,
it was her first time. It has been a month.
I had a hard time pretending like it was our first time.
We were saying the lines before they were.
Even when they clapped together, I was like,
Scenes that I knew I was gonna cry in, I was tearing up before it showed up.
exactly.
Just thinking about it.
I did wake up right on time.
You
for
did wake up
Saturday.
right on time for her to see. So yeah, everybody go watch Project Hail Mary. And if y'all just happen to have a pin or a poster just lying around, 2 pins and posters, send it over. I will literally send you my address.
Not if you're a stranger. Oh, maybe.
No, I might.
Yeah.
Or I'll direct them to this specific store. Right? And we'll meet. It's a public meetup. Nothing's gonna happen.
Okay.
And we'll go, you know what? The exchange with the duty manager. We'll see you. I conclude this video.
Amazing.
The amazing.
How do you interpret, like, the way he was saying goodbye, right? In my head, he kept looking like this rather than this.
Yeah. For me too. It was, I thought he was doing this.
Yeah.
Ryan and the directors and Andy. Are you sure it wasn't like this? Let me know. Get back. A little comment under this.
Before we go, another line that was my favorite was not half bad. What was it? Not half bad, full good.
To be fair, I also said, oh, my favorite line, and I couldn't remember the dude's name. We've watched this movie multiple times.
When did you watch it?
Literally 2 days ago.
See, we watched it in very short time frame, so it's not like we've had time to,
Process.
let it sit.
I think I'll use the other exit. I like it. Can you? I meant, can you turn the video? And after the movie ended, what did we do? We went up to the guy who scanned our tickets and we were like, hey, so are you guys really using all of the posters you have? Because there's no possible way you're using all of these posters. And
Maybe you can give us a poster.
like just one will do. We'll half it, right? Well, we will split it, or we can, instead of halving it, because that kind of custody time. What do you think about custody and like exchange?
Are you asking to co-parent the poster with me?
I guess I am.
Who gets it on weekends?
Since weekends are only 2 days, you can have it on weekends. I'll have it on weekdays.
Clarification. Let's put it in writing and on record right now.
Okay, lawyer. All right. Okay, we get it. You went to law school. Just so you know, I know something about the law myself. Does it not count as a verbal contract? But yeah, so we did not end up getting the poster because the guy who was scanning our ticket was like, we had pins, but we're out of pins too. And then I was like, do you have anything? And then he was like, we have the Mummy. Do I care about the, you don't understand the bond between Ryan Gosling and Rocky and me and you. I didn't say all of that to him. But like, what do you mean the Mummy? You think the Mummy? I'm kidding. Okay, that guy was fine. Like he was a sweet guy. Like, thank you for even trying. But then
we did go up to another man and was like,
he looked like a manager. I have to say. We were searching for a manager looking guy for like what, 5 minutes?
we were searching for a manager looking guy, and then a knob went up to him and was like, so what are you responsible for?
Listen, because I was waiting for him to stop talking to those guys, right? And then by the time he stopped talking, and it was like such a small window, I forgot to prepare, my introduction and what I was gonna ask him.
Yeah.
So
You just straight up went, what are you responsible for? And he's just, everything.
which I have to say, I love the fact that was his answer. And
That's a confident answer.
like he was like everything. Like, wow. Yeah, man.
Well, it's still running right now, so we can't really give you the posters, and we need approval, blah, 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 blah. But if you're really serious about it, then you can,
Which of course we are.
of course we are, then you can come back and then, look for me and ask for me, and I'm like, can we get your name?
And he did give us his name. I'm not giving y'all his name because I know that people are gonna get the poster before me if I do that. The one person that watches my YouTube channel, which is my mom, she'll come here. Actually, if she gets the poster, it just goes back to my house. Mom.
What about my custody rights if that happens?
No, because then our contract is invalid due to the fact that I didn't get the poster. his name. And then I was like, oh, do I take a picture? He didn't let me take a picture of his ID, which like makes sense.
Look, his ID did have a barcode. I'm pretty sure you could have like
Yeah.
used it to access a lot of other things.
Yeah. He is the manager of everything.
And not to like condescend on him or his
What are you
position.
about to say? Hey, did he or did he not tell us he'd give us the poster if we found him? Yes. That's all that matters.
Technically.
We should have gotten it in writing.
Well,
Why would you make a contract for our custody but not a contract for actually getting the poster?
because I think we need to go back and see him again. Actually.
Yeah.
The trail.
You guys, like, when I tell you that I don't want to see ads, I mean boring ads. When I tell you that I don't want to see boring PSAs, I mean boring PSAs.
Was I guess you could say, a PSA.
Oh, you can.
You know the usual, hey, maybe don't film or record or do anything with the video because piracy is bad. Yeah, that most cinemas play. This time, it's a special little video that they've made where it's
in whole IMAX.
the whole IMAX, right? So there's this man in jail, and you're like, oh my god, what did he do? And his lawyer comes, and he's like, dude, what's going on? And then the guy is saying, it started with, oh, is it because I had a son? And the lawyer was like, no, it's not because you had a son. He's like, is it because I date a lot of women? He's like, no, it's not because you date a lot of women. And then it goes on to say, is it because I recorded
I recorded the movie without permission? Bingo!
It's really hard to get out of this one. Okay.
Which I have to say, like, he was in jail because he pirated, right? And then after he like confesses to that, his lawyer goes, okay, like, you promise not to do it again? And he goes, I promise I won't do it. And he gets out of jail.
The lawyer releases him out of jail.
Which, after he said he won't do it, which, like, I feel like, to be honest with you, if you're giving me a PSA, first of all, fun PSA, but also the repercussions are not that big.
Like, pinky swear that you're not gonna do it again.
Okay, I pinky swear, I guess.